about your stand-up comedy, because
Yeah.
although you said you had social anxiety, you overcame it in many ways to do activism, which I think is something is
Yeah.
great because you can do it as a group. I hear all the time, especially from younger people, telling me that my social anxiety I couldn't do. I'm too shy. I can't ever go out and do what you do. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
I mean, for me, like, I say social anxiety, it's really just that initial thing of like, before I go to an event or a place that I haven't been to before, or like if there are a lot of people there I don't know, I can get this real like tightness,
Yeah.
and it feels like I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then once I push myself and like I just walk in, I go in, then usually I'm like, okay, it's fine. It wasn't that bad. I In my mind it was going to be this terrible thing, but talking to people, for me, it's not really that hard. It's just that initial, like, there's a block there where it's like
Yeah.
freeze up sometimes.
I mean, I get that every day. I go out, I drive this thing, and I turn on the chicken noises and everything, and it's like every single day I do it. I'm going, God, is this going to be the day that another? What I don't know what I'm going to walk into. I don't know if it's going to be a nest of police, which happens, or it's going to be a bunch of carny assholes, or it's going to be some people who are really open minded and like want to talk to me. And you kind of have to like, all right, well, here I go. I'm going to throw myself into the deep end and see what happens, sink or swim.
Yeah.
And usually you'll swim, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
What
But
kind of tour was it though? The farm tour? That sounds like so much fun.
yeah, so we went from, gosh, this was years ago at this point. So we went
Years
from,
ago. It was like 4 years ago.
I think it was 7 years ago. It was a long time ago. We went
7
from
years ago.
Portland, Oregon, all the way to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh
So we
wow, it's a big
driving.
one.
Yeah, so we were driving to a new state every week, and we lived out of this like Dodge Sprinter van, and we had the kind of vegan, not vegan, like vegan suggestive wrap around the van.
Yeah,
So, it definitely drew a lot of attention, kind of like you were saying about the chickens. It does draw attention, and that could be, provoke some anxiety, because people will come up and be like, "What's the van? What's at the
yeah,
van?" And we're like,
yeah.
"Okay, don't
Is this
rush."
your van? And you don't know
Yeah.
how to like, and you're like, you don't know whether you can't really place the tone. That happens a lot. Is this
Yeah.
you? Is this your van?
Yeah,
And you're
and
like,
we were driving through territories that, there's so many farmers, so many animal agriculture farmers, and
mm-hmm.
it's like, should I tell you the truth? Because then you might, like, be really upset.
And they're not all created equal either. I've had ones in on the tour I did with Vivisection. Farmers, cattle farmers, go nuts about animal testing. Oh, but cows we need to kill, but like animal test, like it was weird. Like here I am with my
Yeah.
my go vegan guide and shit. You don't know what their friend or foe. You don't know if they're friend or foe.
Yeah,
And
that's true. I talked to this guy who was like a butcher,
mm,
and I was like, "Oh, he's not gonna wanna go," and then he was like, "Oh, it's just my job, but, what I do in my personal life is separate from that." I was like, "Okay, cool."
yeah, I mean, it's remarkable what kind of different characters you'll meet out there. So, what was the virtual reality piece? My last tour had virtual reality as well. It was you got abducted by aliens. What was yours?
Um, I think it was the eye animal footage. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, well, I know that about eye chicken and eye calf. Was it
Yeah,
like
we
that?
did chickens, pigs, and cows, and, it was like, one was narrated by Ivana Lynch from Harry Potter,
Oh
one was
yeah, I
narrated by,
hear a
like,
lot about her.
Kat Von D. I
I
think
heard
I
that she's no longer vegan.
No! Are you serious?
This I am serious. That's what I've heard. She's no longer vegan. Like if you go to her site, it doesn't say vegan next to her name anymore, and like, but I haven't heard her say it, but I've heard a lot of people say it. So
Oh, no.
yeah,
I'd wish you had
she's an
told me she was
Earthling.
dead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Dominion. She's the one of the voices on Dominion. She's dead. To me, she's dead.
To me.
Yeah, I was never that much of a fan anyway. I don't know. Like, I don't really know that. I know she's like a tattoo lady or something, but like, I don't really.
Oh, talking about Kat Von D. I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
Ivana Lynch.
No,
Oh my
Kat Von
gosh.
D.
Okay. Kat Von D is like, she's always been You know.
No, Ivana Lynch is still an activist. Like she's
Oh,
still,
thank
yeah.
God. Oh my God. Okay.
No,
I was
gee
just having
whiz.
like a mental breakdown. I was just about to have a crisis.
You're like, first J.K. Rowling and then Ivana Lynch. What's next? Next, we're
Oh
gonna
my
find out
God.
that that Rathcliffe kid is all, I don't know, a pedo or something.
It's
Like,
like a alt-right, like Nazi.
that's
Oh my
worse than pedo. Like, it's so funny. I say he's a kitty diddler, and you're like, or an alt right. Way
God.
worse.
Mm, let's see what the chat has to say about that. I'm curious.
What's worse, if Daniel Radcliffe was a pedophile or an alt right
Can we get a
Glenn
poll?
Becker? Yeah, let's get a poll going and see what we think. No, I can't do a poll from here, but that would be funny. Daniel, what? Well, this the whole J.K. Rowling thing with Harry Potter, and anyway, but Ivana Lynch, no, she's great. What's her name? Lovejoy. I
Yeah,
forget.
Luna Lovegood. Oh
Lena
my gosh.
Lovegood.
I used to be the biggest Harry Potter fan, and like now I can't even reread them because J.K. Rowling sucks. Like she's
I know, man. Like, so Tyler Starr, he was the founder of the Protego Foundation, which was like the vegan Harry Potter uh, activist group. They got vegan butterbeer into Universal Studios, and they had like really cool things. He's getting his tattoos removed because he's like, and he wrote the Harry Potter cookbook, the vegan Harry Potter
Oh
cookbook.
my god. Oh my god. You know, I had a tattoo. Well, I have a tattoo. My only tattoo, it says vegan and it had like a little lightning bolt on top. And I got that lightning bolt changed to an orca tail because I was like, the lightning bolt was supposed to be like symbolic of
A
Harry Potter.
Potter,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. But thankfully
Wow.
it was very easy to change. Like I was just like, can you make it like, add on to it a little bit?
Oh, that's like when I had my Ted Nugent tattoo. I had cat scratch fever. I had cat scratch fever,
Wait, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was a joke.
and I had to.
You just have like Ted Nugent's face tattooed on your chest or something.
No, cat scratch fever. His number
Yeah,
one hit, his big hit, was called Cat Scratch Fever. Ted
yeah.
Nugent, and so I had to get it. I had to get letters removed, and so now it's just cat tar ever. I was trying to do cats are forever, and so like, but I couldn't afford to get the whole thing removed, and so my back, instead of saying scratch fever, it says cats are forever.
No, it doesn't. That's so
Ever since he was on Joe Rogan, I was like, we got
funny.
to get rid of this Ted Nugent tattoo.
Oh my, yeah. Ugh, never tattoo any new like PSA to everyone. Don't tattoo anything on yourself except for vegan.
That's pretty good. A vegan thing, a vegan symbol.
That's the only thing that's forever.
It's true because bands break up.
Mm-hmm.
And my Guns N' Roses band, I had to keep on getting like the heads removed on that cross with the heads. I had to get Slash removed, and then I had to get Izzy removed because the band members keep changing, and I had to keep getting the tattoo
Okay,
changed.
now you're fucking with me.
I was always fucking with you. I do not have a Ted Nugent tattoo. Who the fuck has a Ted Nugent tattoo?
I don't
Who
know.
the
Cat scratch
fuck?
fever. It sounds good.
Cat scratch
Do you have
fever.
any tattoos?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a vegan one.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh, cute.
it's like the PETA bunny. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, the leaping, yeah.
I have a couple tattoos. Yeah, it's a whole I was born in a time when tattoos were a thing and I had to get them, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody has to get one, don't they? It's like a rite of passage.
Mhm. I mean, I think I never thought I would get one, but then I think when like Donald Trump was elected, I was like, I need to get a
Gotta get a
tattoo.
tattoo. I need to make sure they know I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think veganism, it's like a political act of rebellion in a way, you know? It's
For
like,
sure. Yeah, it's a boycott movement. It's a yeah, absolutely it is.
yeah.
Um, it's funny because when the last election was happening, and I thought that it might go the wrong way, the 2020 election, I
Mhm.
was like, I went and got my passport because I was like, this motherfucker's talking about closing all of the post offices down. Like, where will we get passports? That was my thinking because Donald Trump was talking. Do you remember how crazy it was? He was talking about closing all of the post offices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, what do you mean close all the post
Well,
offices?
you have to understand though, he's running the country like a business.
Oh, yes, is that what it is? Straight into the ground.
Yeah, like all his other businesses.
Like the steak company that he had. So were you always into comedy? Was that what you studied at Gucher University?
Um, I studied theater, so yeah,
Did you
little
get so when I quoted Shakespeare, you weren't like gross?
I did a little Shakespeare, a little. I don't know
Yeah.
that Diana quote though. You know what? Everybody always quotes "Dirty Diana" by Michael Jackson to me, so Shakespeare is
Oh,
a nice change of pace.
that is a much better. Yeah, it's better to quote because Shakespeare also didn't share beds with 9-year-olds. Like he was,
And if he did, like, it was normal back then.
yeah. Except he was married, and he was like he.
No,
I
he was cool. I'm pretty sure he was a real
yeah, I don't.
person.
He was definitely a real person. Oh my god, that's like saying the Holocaust didn't happen. Don't be a denier. It's
Okay,
there's
okay. Some people
there's
think that there are multiple authors.
evidence. People who don't believe that evidence matters. Yes, it's true. There
Okay, all
there are
right.
people just like Holocaust deniers. There are like people who just go, yes, I understand that there's tons of evidence, but I choose not to acknowledge any of it and think that the world is flat. Like
Mhm.
like flat earthers,
Okay,
all
but
that
that
stuff
flat Earth, like, that
is
might
better.
have some merit to it, right?
Flat earthers, yeah, totally. Yes, absolutely. When I yeah, obvious.
Yeah.
So no, Diana's Foresters. It's because the moon is Diana, and she's like the
Yes.
symbol of. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Roman
also
goddess. Yeah.
yes. But then they would use it as like if rather than call us thieves, call us Diana's Foresters because
What play is that from?
I think it's Henry the Fourth, one or two. I don't know because
Okay, I
there's like
haven't
the
read that.
trilogy Henry the Fourth, one, two, and Henry the Fifth,
Mm.
which are like
Mhm.
to me the best plays. But that's
Okay, I'll have to read those, I guess.
don't read them. You're supposed to watch them.
Oh, okay.
If I
Okay.
told you to like read I don't know, you gotta watch Ghostbusters. Oh, I'll go
Mm.
home and I'll read it.
Well, I need to, like, find a local theater. It's putting on Henry the 1st through 5th.
They make them on television. You can see anything through the computer now.
Mm.
Oh, Henry the
Okay.
Fifth actually made a Kenneth Branagh's first movie was Henry V. It's his first full length movie when he started the Royal. He called it the Shakespeare Film. It was amazing, Henry V.
Mhm.
And there's parts because Henry V doesn't make sense without Henry IV. He puts parts of 1 and 2 into part 5, and maybe the Diana's Forrester quote is in that movie. I don't know. It's been a long
Maybe.
time since I've seen it, but it's marvelous. And if you like theater, then that's worth watching. Plus,
Yeah.
it's Christian Bale's first movie,
Oh, I do like Christian Bale.
and he's like, "Where is she?"
No, no, he's no, no. I could do a good Bane. Wait, wait, wait.
Did you hear my Bane earlier?
No, wait, you were doing Bane earlier?
Yes, I was doing
Damn
Bane
it.
because
I know I
everyone said
connected.
my Jordan Peterson sounded like my Bane, so I just
No, Jordan Peterson's more like Kermit the Frog. You have to do a little Kermit.
Miss
Kermit meets
Piggy,
me.
Miss
Yeah.
Piggy.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
Jordan Peterson. That was pretty good.
I'm Jordan Peterson.
Oh, see.
Jordan Peterson. I guess you're right. I could kind of talk a little bit like, but he's rounder. He has rounder way of talking.
No, now it's Bane. It's Bane again.
See, that's the thing. He opens his mouth in a way that makes him sound almost European, like Bane. Bane is like, Commissioner Gordon is a liar.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, let's hear your Bane.
Oh, okay. Well, I already said that I do bad impressions, so nobody is gonna hold me to
Yeah.
this. All right. Wait, I don't know what to say. Oh, it's so bad. Right up from here. I was born in the dark.
Oh, that was good. That was really good. I was born here. You're
No, that was
visiting.
not good. Don't lie to me.
You're visiting.
I was born.
I was born here. Of course. Yeah, it's
No, I
good.
could do a good David Attenborough though. I'll do it later.
Christian Bale's first movie was not Empire of the Sun. It was Henry V, and he's a little boy in it. He's like, you say he was 10, he's probably like 9 in Henry V. You should check it out. Did we lose her? Oh my
He's
God, Diana
9.
the vegan.
Wait, you
Here
can't
she
hear
is.
me?
You're back. I can hear you, but you're like freezing up. But my internet seems fine.
Oh, maybe it's mine.
That's okay. In New York, I know sometimes you guys live like a third world country over there. It's like Tora Bora during the war. Does like are you still? Oh, you're back. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Um so you studied theater and then you were like, screw this whole theater thing. I'm going to get up on stage by myself and tell jokes.
Yeah, pretty much. I I don't even know. How did I make that transition? It's just fun. I've always liked doing comedic plays, making people laugh. Um, but I think the idea of stand up terrified me because you have to do your own material, and that's very vulnerable and scary.
Yeah.
So I took some classes to start.
That
My
is
dog just
You took comedy classes?
yes, they have a lot of stand up comedy classes here in New York City that you
That
can
makes
take.
sense. Seinfeld says it's way better there than it is in LA.
Mm, he would know. And your Seinfeld.
I like
What's
Seinfeld.
what's the deal with LA
Who
comedy?
are these people?
That's way better than mine.
What's the deal
What's the
with
deal
parking lots? Yeah, I think
with parking?
it's always something like that.
Yeah.
You, you, you paved paradise and you put up a parking lot.
Why
That's
would you?
that's like I used.
Okay, I'm doing Jordan Peterson again. Oh my
Who
god,
are these people?
it's pretty
I
good.
read his book and it was marvelous. It was just a collection of his jokes, really, but it was really good. And it was yeah, he because he's really a writer. He really is a poet in many ways, and I think that I can learn. I've learned a lot from Seinfeld and the way he puts words together. He said
Mm.
poetry is basically the same thing as writing jokes. You take a lot of time to put just the perfect words next to each other, but in the end, you don't get a laugh. So poetry's stupid, and so which is funny because I think that he's right. Although I think my poetry is pretty funny. Um, I
Oh, I
can't
have
take the
some funny
humor.
poetry too. It's fun to write
Yeah,
poetry. Oh my
it
gosh.
is. It is. So, but you write jokes mostly. How often
Yeah.
are you doing like the whole New York thing? Like go to all the open mics and get booed off a stage and get yelled at, and then you die, you bomb, and then you kill. You have that experience?
I've got a pretty good open mic near me that they have it every Wednesday night, and that's really great because it's mostly musicians, and then I go up and I'm like the only comedian, so people actually will pay attention and like be like, oh yay! So that's fun.
That
Um,
is cool. Yeah, that's a good thing. I always like the open mic when they have a comic get up between the musicians, tell some jokes.
yeah, yeah. So that's been really great. But sometimes I've we've done some like all vegan comedy shows where we have just like vegan comedians. So if
Are there
people
that
if
many
anyone wants
things?
to there are a surprising amount of vegan comedians in New York. Like it's and some pretty well-known ones too. Well-established comedians are vegan. And oh my gosh, my favorite experience so far doing stand-up comedy here in New York was I got to open for Preacher Lawson at Stand Up New York. If I
Everyone
don't know if
loves
people in the
him.
chat knows who
Yeah.
that is, but he is amazing. He was on America's Got Talent, and he's a vegan comedian, and he was so nice. And I wore my Furs Murder hat, and so he walked in the door, and he's like, "Hey, how long have you been vegan?" I was like, "Oh my God, it's Preacher Lawson!" So I was fangirling over him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Preacher Lawson's he's a big star now because of that, because he did the AGT. I never seen that show, but I know a lot of people are really into Preacher Lawson. Every
Yeah.
time I tell people I'm vegan, they're like, "Oh, I like Preacher Lawson," so that's something. He's doing something good, right? Something
Well,
good for
that's
the
good because I
people.
tell
And
people,
you got
like, people ask, "Who's your favorite comedian?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love Preacher
Mhm.
Lawson." They're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "You suck," you know?
I feel like that about a lot of things, though. Like, I'll say things like, "Hey," just like in Gary Yourofsky's speech, and I'll be like, people go, "Who's Gary Yourofsky?" And I'll go, "How long you been vegan?"
Yeah.
And I'm going,
Yeah.
That
See,
always blows my mind when I
I get
yeah.
that reference though, because I've been vegan over 10 years, so that
But there's
Gary
okay,
Yourofsky,
but 10 you
I
should
remember.
know, right? Gary Yourofsky. You should know
No,
who
I
Gary
remember. I
Yourofsky
remember.
is.
Yes. Well, not everybody does. Now people are like, I don't even know. What do people, who do people, Earthling Ed? I don't even know.
It must be Joey Carbstrong or like maybe it's Tabitha Brown, huh? She's quite popular. She's got
Mm.
lots of subscribers. Yeah. George Carlin is my favorite comedian, says ethically based ex omnivore. Who is your favorite comedian, Diana?
Well,
Stand
obviously,
up, stand up.
Preacher Lawson's great. George Carlin is up there too. I mean, he really influenced me. Like when I was a teenager, I would watch all his clips on YouTube and I was just so obsessed. And he he just has such a way of influencing like
Mm,
thought, like, political ideas. Like so many of my ideas I didn't even realize came from George Carlin, like not comedy ideas, but just like my
totally.
views on the world. Um and that really shows me like how influential comedy can be. Right now I really like Ashley Gavin. I don't know if people know her, but she's great. I've seen her in person a couple times. She's like, it might be very niche. She does mostly like gay
Mm.
comedy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I watch gay comedy. I because I go to improv when I can, and if I can, I go to any comedy that I can get to. You know, I love stand up. I ran a comedy club in Las Vegas for a while, and well, it was one of my bars. I ran all the bars in MGM Grand, and
Mhm.
one of them was the 2 90-minute shows every night at Brad Garrett's comedy club, and so I got to see tons of comedy, and because of that, I was just like, I was always into comedy, but then like I started getting tickets and everything to go to like the Tropicana, the I think it's the Laugh Factory there, and or the Comedy Store. I don't know. There's comedy all over Las Vegas, so it's like, and plus everybody's there. Like I saw Rich Little, like the godfather of impersonations. He does good impersonations.
Yeah.
And
That's less fun than bad ones, but yeah.
yeah, no, it's pretty remarkable. His he's an old man. He's still doing pretty awesome. And I saw Andrew Dice Clay and like some of those old
Oh,
timers,
cool.
they're still doing their shit. Yeah. And they're still coming up with new material. It's just that people still want to see their old. They'll do the old stuff. Like Carrot Top still does his old act that but he'll bring out his other stuff and to stadiums full of people. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like 2,000 people every night go to see that guy. What the hell?
To see
One
Carrot
man on a
Top.
stage to see Carrot Top. Like I want to say
Mm.
his room is probably it's at least 1,000 seats. I think it's probably more, but at least 1,000 people, and he does at least one show a night. It's remarkable. People
That's
love to
great.
see Carrot Top.
I'm good
I
for him,
guess I mean,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah. Good
Yeah, I
for him.
mean that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Mhm.
I mean, he's no Lady Gaga, and she gets like 4,000 people a night every night seeing her in Las Vegas. But that's the dream, right? Go to Las Vegas, and then they all come to see you. You don't have to tour anymore.
Lady Gaga performs in Vegas?
Yeah, she has a residency there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all of everybody does. I mean, Britney Spears did for a while. She was doing nightly shows. Elvis Presley, obviously, was the big one, but then everybody. Celine Dion, she
Oh,
did her
yeah.
show there for ages.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
where else are you going to do it if you don't want to tour anymore? Go live in Vegas for 4 months out of the year. Everyone will come see you, and then you don't work for the next 8 months. You know what I mean? It's great. They love it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
I want a yeah, are you offering? I'll take a residency
Yeah.
in Vegas.
All
Sounds
right, let's
great.
go. We'll make it.
Okay. Nice.